Hello YouTube, Sammy Lockwood here with another edition of Football Manager related items. Today I'm going to bring you a tutorial in the official editor version, and I'm going to tell you as much as I know about the editor itself. So I'm going to do this as a part series. It may take me a while to do with work in between, but I'll try and release what I can when I can. Anyway, so I'm going to start it off simple with a lovely question of have you ever wondered about yourself being in Football Manager? You know, having your own player or your own team, your own competition with the best players and best teams in the world playing against each other every season. Well, the answer is all lies in the Football Manager editor. And I'm going to, obviously, as like I said, I'm going to tell you as much as I know about it. So obviously, let's just start with the outlay. So each area has their own specific, obviously, subject. So at the moment we're under in agreements. So we've also got awards, clubs, cities, competition, continents, currencies, and so on. There's plenty there for us to look at in this lovely area here. So to start things off, click File. When you look at File, you can load a database. You can import a database, load data, save data, and obviously quit the program. Obviously we don't need that for now, so I'm going to start nice and simple and create a player. So players are an important thing. So obviously to start off for players, you click Add, and then you get a selection of different players. Well, people, more like. So obviously player, non-player, so that's obviously your coaches. Non-player is the official coach, player, official, fourth official, blah blah blah. Retired player, a journalist, and agent. So we're going to create a player, and obviously we need a name. Now that's a good question. What do we pick for a name? So good. So I'm going to create one. One of my favourite names I used to create, Brian Lara 2007. Jim Speedy. So obviously these are simple setups. What sort of, you know, skin tone levels and so on. Date of birth. So we want to be at least 2021. So let's make them 92. October 22nd. There we go. His date of birth. See your birth. So obviously these are simple things. So this is his basic. These are these basic details. So name, his offence is in that one. That word. Hair colour, skin tone, date of birth, where he's from, clever nation, blah blah blah, international retirement, where he's, you know, all of this. So, and obviously, unsaved changes. So obviously we've made 7 changes to the database. So obviously it will tell you up in the corner how many you've made before you saved, and down here is what you've edited. So obviously, next job is to select his contract. So what club is he at? Obviously I'm going to do my, I say, local side. Would help if I can spell. Okay, so on Cambridge United. So he's playing for Cambridge United, play job. Now this is interesting. I've never seen this. Obviously, this is what job he actually has within the club. So obviously we want him as a player. See? The entire selection list here all the way into different regions. Now he can even be a player specific type of person. So I'm going to have him as a player, contracts, and then obviously you've got your contract details as well. So I'm going to make him sign a 10-year deal with Cambridge. Full time, and his wage is going to be £250, you know, just to be nice to Cambridge's wage bill. So, but obviously they've got to give him £100 per goal and maybe 25 per game he plays. Then if he's top goal scorer, you could have an extra grand on him. So these are simple things that you can see that can be added into the person's contract. Excuse me. Got to keep the fluids up. So that's the simple thing. So now I've given him a club, given him his specific contract, and yeah. Well, obviously, I don't know anything about the nation contract. If you know anything about it, leave a comment in the comments section. Let me know, and I will be grateful, and I may mention it and your name as a thank you for in the next video. And obviously, loan details and who's he been on loan at, future transfer, is he going to join another club? So I'm going to say I'm going to make him join Wolves. Let's go pressure. So he's going to join Wolves at the end of his contract for a transfer fee of probably 17 million. So he's going to join them at 17 million as a player coach role, because by the time he's spent about 14 years, he's going to be in his 30s. So obviously he's not going to leave the club at the time, leave Cambridge, until he's in his 30s. So that's contract sorted. Next job is personal data. So let's start with attributes. Now hopefully you know what all this means. So adaptability, how well can he adapt to clubs? So, all their adaptability, all their tactics, training, etc. is quite well. The next job is ambition. How high is his ambition? For success. So obviously making these numbers up. Controversy. This is how much is he going to speak to the media when he has an issue with the club. So say you've only given him 2 appearances in 10 games, and he's supposed to be a first team regular. Then obviously he's going to speak up about it. So obviously that's always a problem. So I'm going to make him a nice player. If he's got a problem, he's not going to go up to the media and tell someone about it. Loyalty, how loyal is he to his club? So he's already made a transfer, so in 10 years time he's going to be 31, he's going to be playing for Wolverhampton wherever they are for 17 million. So Cambridge are going to be pretty rich in 10 years time. Pressure, I believe that's how much pressure he can handle as a player, as being professional, and as a player, can he deal with the pressure and whatnot. Quite exciting. Professional, how professional is he as a player? Sportsman, self-explanatory. How do you deal with being a professional sportsmanship? So, do you go once the game's over, you don't just walk off the pitch and say bye, or do you go around and handshake every player, say thank you to the fans and whatnot? Temperament, I think that's just his temper level. Then you got dog preferences, so what is he going to become when he's retired? So obviously it's going to be a coach. So his main role is going to be a coach, but I'm also going to be nice and give him a chance as a manager, if not an assistant. And so obviously, as you can tell, I've also been given all the ratings out to 20. Now obviously that's how it is. They don't have a system where it's 1 to 100, it's 1 to 20, just to make everything a little bit easier to understand. So obviously, the more closer towards 20, the better they are. That's quite so. Retirements is obviously, this section can't be used just in future retirement. Okay, so that the retirements is something we can just easily ignore. So. What's kind of easy language? What language can you speak? Yeah, my keyboard will let me. So obviously we have English. And it's obviously fluent in English. These are club of nations, and obviously his career plans we already know he's going to join Wolves in about 10 years' time. Now, obviously, here's another setup. So obviously we have his obviously this is for his abilities, as they say. Recommended current ability 30. So he's supposed to be a rather poor player, but I'm gonna put him at 118 with potential to be about 180 on top. So obviously his recommended ability is now only 102. That's nice of them, it's auto generated. So next job is current reputation. So reputation is how well known he is. So he's not amazingly known. So I'm going to put him as basic. So I'm saying he's locally known. Home reputation, I think, is how well he's known in like the UK overall. So I'm going to say 300. And obviously in the world, it is self-explanatory. It's just how well is he known in the world. So 120, so he's barely known. Maybe more of the hardcore football fans will know who he is. Now, obviously, next few sections is understandable. This is obviously how tall he is. So I'm going to make him reasonably tall. How heavy he is. I'm going to make him actually quite light. He's a very light person. And obviously left foot is how good is he with his left. And we'll make him a natural left-footed player, but does have some right foot skills underneath. So there's that. So traded nation is obviously, this helps with the homegrown training business. You don't have, obviously, when you sort it all out, he's actually a homegrown player. So it doesn't make him an actual issue. And then obviously trainer club is obviously club-wise as well, so he's going to spend. There he is. So yeah, that now generally confirms him as a homegrown player, which is quite good. So obviously less issues there. Positions, I'm going to make him a natural left midfielder, with well-known attacking left, a bit of striker skills on top. Don't expect him to be any better than that. And also with some central business as well. So he's a very left-sided player, but he also knows how to play, central midfield striker. So, as I say, mental attributes, aggression is how aggressive is he, comes to challenges and all that. So we'll make that 11. Anticipation is how well would he read, attempt to get to the ball. Good. Bravery, how brave is he to go into challenges and all that, go for the ball and that. No score. Composure is obviously how well can he keep himself composed when doing crosses, shooting, etc. So making quite good on that. Concentration is how well, self-explanatory there. How well. Consistency is obviously how can he keep himself consistent over a set time. When he plays, does he stay consistent and throughout the season? So I made him very consistent. Decision is how well his decision making is. And obviously, remember, this is all out of 20, so obviously not 100, otherwise it would just go weird. Determination, how well is he determined? Dirtiness is obviously how dirty will he go into his challenges. Flair is how was he going, his honesty to going towards doing like skill moves and all that. So, how well do he try and be like Cristiano Ronaldo or a Lionel Messi and all that. Important matches is like when it comes to the big ties, so say you're in the FA Cup 5th round with Cambridge, if you decide. We'll probably will upload him to the editor if people say so. If you would like to see him on the editor, just comment on the below saying yes please, and if I get a couple of good views and all that, and people say yes, we'll have him, and then I will put him up on there. So important matches, how important is his matching skills when it comes to the big games like derbies and facing the big teams in the cup matches and whatnot, or even Europe leagues and all that. So I'm going to make him, he's very good at this. Now, leadership is is the specific tool towards being a captain. So it's how well can he command his side. So he's not captain material, but he can hold his own when trying to control other players. Movement is obviously how well can he move around the pitch, especially when it comes to attacking moves. Positioning is obviously no way he can fill his positions. Teamwork is how well he can work with a team. So next up we've got vision. Well, I do apologise. This video will be made out of 2 different videos as due to an interruption along the way. Hey. Anyway, vision is how well the player can, determine, vision area pass. So how well can he see a player maybe make a run, and he realises that's the perfect pass he can make. Obviously, it comes all important. So I'm going to give him a good 14. The work rate is understandable as well, and work rate is how hard is he going to work for his for his team. So I'm going to make him a hard worker. He's determined to work. Oh wow, this is going to be a good video. So that's how well he's going to work for obviously for his team. Physical attributes is obviously understandable. Now obviously hilariously enough he's called Jim Speedy, so I'm going to make him amazingly quickly. He's got good agility. Fraps is failing on me again. Balance is obviously how well he can stay balanced. Injury proneness is obviously how prone he is to injury. With this, it's obviously, I believe it's lower the number, the lower the lower the chance he's actually going to be injured. So obviously I'm going to stick him on a 1, and then I'm going to double check when I go into the game and find him. Jump and reach, understandable. Natural fitness is, natural fitness is, how well can he maintain his fitness throughout the season. So obviously the higher it is, the better it will be. Obviously I did say he was very quick. Now I'll say he's quite strong as well. So, there we go. Now this is where we get nice and technical. Now, as a wide player, it's quite important that his technical attributes to specific areas is quite strong. So stuff like crossing, dribbling, first touch, passing, technique and versatilities are quite high. And corners as well, maybe. So for him, I'm going to make him, mediocre strengths. So, but I'm going to make, the more important skills quite high for him. Finishing is obviously how well can he take a shot and all that. Obviously some of you will understand what some of these already are, so it won't be too important for me to not actually explain what they are as I do this. So obviously, and the video is quite slow because of Fraps. Fraps is actually running. He is recording this program, so it is currently playing really badly to me. So obviously, goalkeeping attributes isn't actually that important. Preferred moves are actually so. Obviously, these are the selection of moves that he will perform within the game. So, obviously, he's left-footed, so he's going to go through and make him go. When he goes for a run with the ball, he's going to go down the left and through the centre. Obviously, as an attacking player, he's going to endure everything there through the opposition area, moves into channel, always gets forward, likes to shoot from distance with power, likes to run the goalkeeper. Even lob him. Does not dive into the tackles. No, so there's quite a few moves here. So runs with the ball often. Likes cut inside. I'll say looks at the pass and looks to score. Plays 1-2. Wants to dictate to him. Likes to attempt overhead kicks. Knocks balls past opponent. There's quite a few moves that he wants to play. Now, obviously, other areas is, did he have any injuries that he picked up along the way? So, obviously, these are quite, it depends if you want to set them up. You could obviously remove them as well. So, if you want to select a player, which I will show just a moment. So, they also got bans. So, obviously, did you pick up any bans, previous bans? You can obviously mention through here. I don't deal with these. You got relationships. So, right, so next up is relationships. Just basically talking about who his favourite people are, who he dislikes, his favourite clubs. So, in terms of this one, we will put in Wolves. Where are they? Well, it's good enough to find them. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Obviously his reason. I know that level. I'm going to do the same with Cambridge. There's a player that just dropped the support level to 80. And also you've got dislike clubs as well, so that's teams he doesn't like at all. So anytime it could be, is the rival clubs of Cambridge or Wolves. That's the same with favourite people and dislike people. So it's pretty self-explanatory here. So it's just basically click add, the team, reason, and the level. Obviously, I think dislike clubs is different compared to favourite people. See, with favourite people and clubs, there's person, the level of how much they actually like the person, reason why they like them, and if it's actually a permanent thing or not, if it goes. Obviously, finally, we've got the playing history. So this is clubs that we've already played for. So obviously you can make him look like it's had a history or not, or this is the first club he's played for. So there's plenty to do here. Non-playing history, that's obviously if he's been a staff member or not, and any, and then finally achievements that he's picked up as a player along the way. So all in all, within this tutorial that I've shown, so if I've made 114 changes to the editor, so obviously as you can see, that's our player created. Now obviously with already players that we've created, obviously famous people we know, so obviously next job is to show you what you can do with others. So let's choose this man because he's a bit of a legend already. So there he is. So I found a player, and now we're going to edit him. So honestly, you can change literally anything about him. As you'll see, anything. So for this editor, I'm going to make him young again. So he's now 1994, born in 1994. Still plays for Cambridge, but we're going to extend his contract from 2015 to 2020. That's a 6-year deal. 800, blah blah blah. So obviously deals anyway here and there. Personal data. So obviously, all this personal stuff there. So I'm going to make him more of a manager for when he retires. So obviously he had Luke Chadwick actually had a bit of a career. He started off Man U, and then obviously he spent his time, quite a few of his time on these clubs. And then you've got your general data. So I'm going to start off at 96, but then obviously I'm going to increase it up to 190. So he has got a bit of a career coming up. And obviously you've got his data. So I'm basically editing a player here with all of his attributes, etc. There's some things you can actually do. Matter player. So everyone has their own type of moves. So, he's had only a couple of injuries in his time, so they say. That's not all completely up there. So obviously he's also got favourite people who's disliked, favourite clubs. There it is, Cambridge now. Obviously players of MK Dons and Manchester United, and obviously he's got dislike cards, which doesn't have any. But then obviously he'll also have plenty of, his attributes as a player in his playing career. So, he did have a bit of a career around the UK, but we'll let him sort that one out. So, yep, and that's basically what happens in the editor. So obviously once you're done, then you select Save Editors As, and then you just select, so I'll just select YouTube 1, obviously because this is the first update. And then you select Save, everything's saved, and that's everything for you. So obviously the next time when I start a game, I will be able to find them. So let's go and look for them. So here we are at the full game, and here he is, Mr. Jim Speedy. Obviously we don't know much about him because I decided to be an unemployed manager. So obviously not a lot I can do to obviously show him. So obviously this is Cambridge United. Just going to find Luke Chadwick. There he is. At the age of 19 as well, so all the skills he has are also here. So obviously we don't know too much about him as well. This is the one thing that, apart from goalkeeper and everything, is unknown to us. So obviously not a lot we can do here. Obviously, silly enough, his history is still there. So, yep. That's everything you really need to know for the time being for this part. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Obviously, I will update you on how these two players are doing throughout the season, as I will keep this character employed for a bit. And I hope you enjoy the video. Anyway, and I will see you in part 2, which is how to create your own club. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon.